Hello, everyone. Uh, Hello, all my beautiful people out there. We are currently in the oneness space right now, sharing our thoughts with the self. And I have something here for everybody. Okay. And today's subject is the mind and the heart. Uh, First of all, I would like to tell those who, well, this is about polarity, mostly about polarity. I'm trying to help society escape polarity by entering the heart space and letting people know that the heart is not the mind. A lot of times when females play these yin tricks, males are too much here. And here, when you love from the mind, you're still thinking with the old Atlantean consciousness, the old plus and minus balancer, sort of like a scale. But the heart is just all yang. So if we reinforce that type of behavior where she can just keep using yang, then we're thinking with our astral bodies too much. And the old karmas will never go away because we're, males are too centered in their head. I'm here to uh, help spread what Master Elijah told us, that if we go into our hearts, we're ready to escape polarity. I came to this realization today, just barely came to it, almost escaped me. I had to write it down here in my book just to know. Males, when females play these yin tricks, we keep coming back to them. And females who don't play the yin tricks, we forget them because we're still thinking with our minds. When you activate the love in your heart, self-love. I'm not talking about love that depends on any outside influence. Once you have come to a place where you honor and respect your emotions, then things can change. Aside from that, being centered in the heart, not in the mind, I would like to tell everyone, as a matter of fact, that love is no mind. There is no mind. Your karmas will keep repeating if you continue with the mind, because the mind is polarized. The mind is polarized. And that's it for, you know, today's discussion on polarity. Uh, Today I'm gonna read some passages here from The Crystal Stair, A Guide to Ascension. It has channels from uh, Sananda, which is Jesus's ascended body and his overself, you could say. Ashtar, Angel, Archangel Michael, and Saint Germain. But today we're just gonna read about Commander Ashtar. And he has every right to be called. No, he doesn't. We shouldn't call him Lord Ashtar. We could call him Master Ashtar. But it's time that humans gain their sovereignty and we stop calling these light beings our Lord and Masters. But I don't know. They sure deserve a very respectable name. Alright, I'm gonna start my reading. I hope you enjoy. This is by Commander Ashtar. Good evening, my dear friends. This is Ashtar. I am very happy to be here with you this evening to share information and love that we can share together in these momentous times. Please relax yourselves and be comfortable, and I will give you an introduction. I would like to address some information concerning the Ashtar Command, our purpose, who we are, and what we are doing here, speaking to you in this strange manner. I will give you the opportunity to ask me questions later on. I am sure you will all have more. So you have been introduced to this ascension idea, this plan of ours. Let me say it is a plan of the Christus, under whose auspiciousness we are working directly. I would like to speak a little bit about my role and the role of the Ashtar Command in fulfilling this. Perhaps it will put your mind more at ease about extraterrestrial ascended beings surrounding you. If this is a new idea to you, then I am sure there is or has been at least a little bit of alarm. So I come to soothe you a little bit. You can see that I have no horns upon my head, nor do I have green skin. We are human in appearance as you are. There are humans throughout the universe. The earth is not the only inhabited planet, and as the Lord made man in his image, it is only logical that there are images of him scattered throughout his creation. That goes back to us living inside of a hologram, within a hologram. So let me say that the Ashtar Command is the intergalactic alliance of etheric ships and human beings and angelic beings. We are here on a mission, and we have been for many thousands of years. We have been monitoring and assisting in the evolvement of the planet and the consciousness of the human species. We have from time to time manifested physically, but largely we work spiritually. There may come a time, probably, there will come a time, when you will see our ships. This is already happening. But it is a little too early for that yet. We are remaining in the fifth dimension. So we are surrounding you with millions of ships and many millions of volunteers, servants, and ascended beings. You cannot see us unless we lower our frequency to third dimensional time and space. Nevertheless, we are here and we are fully functioning. In fact, at this time, our efforts have been redoubled, and we have a great number of fleets surrounding the planet, doing much work. Our work consists of many different areas. Largely, we are assisting in the elevation of consciousness during this period in which the planet is growing towards its ascension. We are assisting in the evolvement. We are delivering our training to you in your sleep. People, watch your dreams. We are delivering our telepathic messages to those of you who can hear and receive them. Let me go back to that. We are delivering our telepathic messages to those of you who can hear and receive them. This telepathy, this ability to receive messages is accessible to everybody. As a matter of fact, all we have to do is be able to enter a trance state with our minds. I have been able to do this on quite a number of occasions. I have entered a trance state and have received a few words, only a few words. I cannot stay in that state too long. But for those of you who can stay in the trance state, Godspeed. That's all I have to say. Okay, let me continue my reading. We are opening communication links each day. There are more and more of you who are opening to the aspects of channeling and telepathic communication. So that goes back to the trance, being able to take your mind into that no mind state where your mind is asleep, but your consciousness is aware. When you're in that state, then you receive the messages, because I personally have received messages in that state. And when I say us, I'm referring to the Ashtar Command and all of the ascended masters of the Great Right Brotherhood. For those of you who have been watching the Gurunath, uh, what's his name? Gurunath, Hamsa Gurunath of the Great White Brotherhood. He is in contact with this dimension. So watch his videos. He has a lot of very interesting things to say. We are working in unison, you see. So they're working with the White Brotherhood in unison. Maybe through energy. They're not really too direct with them. Maybe some members are. Each of us in our different areas of speciality, but as a coordinated effort. We are a very organized group of beings. We take time for fun and play as you do. In fact, we have perfected it a little bit more than you have. For we have a little more freedom, and yet at the same time we are quite organized and impeccable in our manifestations. At least we try to be. At least we try to be. I believe that they tried to maybe be discreet with our governments, but no, because they have tried to talk to the governments. I have heard in some of the programmings that they have tried to talk to the governments, but our governments are as a matter of fact, they are our manifestation of the material. Aside from the work that we are doing, these communications and messages in enhancing individual spiritual growth, we are working with the planet, and we have been for some time, to assist the planet in maintaining. Damn, I hate it when that happens. My computer just went to sleep. Let me repeat that. Aside from the work that we are doing with these communications and the messages in enhancing individual spiritual growth, we are working with the planet, and we have been for some time, to assist the planet in maintaining balance. We have until recently been working to deter activities along the fault lines. This activity has ceased. It is now time to allow this to occur, and it is occurring. Earthquakes, floods, etc. We have been working with our technology to assist in controlling somewhat the rotation of the Earth, controlling the wobble, which will inevitably result in a new polar shift. We have been doing so much to focus the light which is being broadcasted from the Creator himself throughout the universe. Specifically, we have been working with energy grids. These are difficult to describe. They appear somewhat like meridian lines with various vortex points which surround your planet, and we use these grids to assist in balancing and controlling the rate and the nature of the spiritual ray which is emanating to your world. This is, as I have said, to assist in balancing, for your world is existing in a state of precarious balance at this time, and we are doing everything we can and have been for quite some time to allow you and all of your humanity to have the maximum time to develop spiritually and to be prepared for the coming change and ascension which is taking place on this world. With regard to ascension, I would say that the earth herself is ascending. This is unavoidable growth which must occur, and it will result in some earth changes. Most likely they will be quite dramatic. We are working with individual ascension especially strongly at this time because the time is so critical. We are attempting to reach as many beings as possible, especially the starseed or volunteers, you who have been among us in the past and will return to be with us again. We are assisting all those on this planet who are opening to spiritual growth and awareness at this time. All those who have love in their hearts are feeling this emanation that we are assisting in and are receiving subconscious messages from us. So there is another portal into the fifth dimension, the love in your heart. The love in your heart is more than just feeling, it's information from these beings that have figured out how to play with these energies. I'm gonna skip to the Q&A part of this section because this channeling is quite long and I don't want to take up too much time. But I'll only go to the most important questions that were answered. Okay. First question that's very important is, why are the fundamentalist Christian churches so violently against the New Age groups? They are afraid. This is by Ashtar. They are afraid. They are afraid of losing their power. They are afraid that if the New Age does manifest, everyone will have an individual experience of God, and there will no longer be a reason to go to a particular church or to donate to a particular cause. And they would find themselves suffering financially and in other ways. There is a great degree of impurity in the organized religions. Most of them will be the last to awaken, and in fact may never will. Many will never will. They will probably be amongst those who refuse to. If you feel a fundamentalist bent in someone's nature, love them unconditionally, but silently for your own protection. The Christ is love. The Christ is the presence that we are and the presence that we share. It is very simple. There is no need to bring fear, judgment, or criticism of others into it. The Christ was not critical even of those who were pers- 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 uh, persec- can't read this word, persecuting him. So let this be a guide to you. If anyone is persecuting you, then use his example. Do not expect it to be noticed, but do it for your own upliftment. See, the problem with the fundamentalist Christian churches is that they idolize Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ was not the first individual to come into contact with Christed energy. In fact, there have been many before him who have ascended, reached the rainbow body, and gone into many other dimensions of the universe. The only thing wrong with the Christian church is that they're idolizing. Okay, let me go to ah here. Ashtar talks about Lord uh, Master Maitreya. If you, as you've seen, many people suspect that Maitreya is Raj Patel, and I will not discredit those who do. If Maitreya is in fact Raj Patel, God is definitely on our side. So let's see what Ashtar has to say about Lord Maitreya. This is the question that was asked to Ashtar. Is Maitreya in London the Christ, or is it Jesus, or are they one and the same? Uh, let's see what he says here. Jesus the Christ is in an ascended state at this time. They, though there are avatars present upon the earth at this time, many spiritual masters are playing their roles consciously or subconsciously in this awakening of humanity. So this being will also attempt to do his part in his own way. As to whether or not he is a Christed entity, you must judge that for yourself. I will not pass judgment in this way. It is part of your growth to discern truth from fiction, and it is a disservice on my part if I were to categorize and give you my impression of every teaching or every truth that has been spoken or given. It is part of your process to separate the wheat from the chaff. I would say that within every teaching there are truths, and elements that are less focused on the truth. If you take it to your heart and it serves you in your process of growth, then do so. If not, then let it go. There is no need to give yourself to any one incarnated spiritual master at this time. There is something which is being phased out. Of those masters who have had followings, who are more humble and aware, there are some who have already taken their devotees and given them to their own paths and have released the attachment of having a large number of followers. Others still have a desire to have followers, but it is being phased out, for it is time when each individual being will become a Christ. Wow. There will be there will only be Christus remaining on the earth within a short time. Everybody will receive a Christed state, and all of that idol worship that our fundamentalist Christian churches are doing, gone. Not that I disapprove of any of the suffering that they will have to go through in order for that to happen, but hey, with change always comes chaos. Or I think it goes like that. I don't know. Then there will be no. Oh, this is. Then there will be no. Sorry. Okay. Then there will be no. Then there will be no more need to have teachers and devotees. That that has served a purpose. But now I would give you the challenge to become masters yourselves, and you can do so directly, working with the ascended masters. If you desire to receive teachings from an incarnated master, you may do so. But you will not receive anything more profound than you can in your own living rooms and through your own guidance and channelings. You are masters yourself. This is the challenge that is before you and before the planet. Wow. So that is what Ashtar had to tell us about Matriarch is that if you choose to listen to the teachings of Matriarch and learn from him, then you may do so. If you choose to not, then you can, because inside of you is that multidimensional Christed being who's waiting to be released. All you have to do is go into your hearts and 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 receive your messages. This is all I have to say for today. The most important the most important wisdom that I have to give everyone today is love is not logic. Okay? Love is not logic. Never mix love with logic because it doesn't work. Love is pure yang. Pure yang. And this up here, this is left polarity, negative, right polarity, positive. Okay? This is always thinking of, oh, if this person did wrong to me, then he must pay. If this person did right to me, then he deserves love. No. We're trying to completely cancel the negative. Get rid of the negative. And for that, we must all concentrate on the oneness. The oneness in the hearts and the positivity. You see, the karmas will fade away. So next time any male finds himself thinking about a female too much, you're using your mind too much. And you need to move on and start pushing the heart so that those who are using their yang and you know filling the mind and the body with hate, really, because that's all it's doing, they will naturally find a way into their own hearts, because those tricks will no longer work for them. And I'll see you guys on the next series. Namaste. Equal hearts.